this is the pocket as per the pattern size. You can see 2 little notch marks. I'm going to fold this at the notch, and then just press it with your fingers and press it with a hot iron. That marking is mainly, the notch mark is mainly for, for the fold of the lip of the pocket. Now I'm going to place it and then just fold it in another 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. It really doesn't matter. Okay. At the same time, I'll take the bigger piece of the pocket, because since this doesn't have, I'll just iron it flat because this has got creases in it. At the same time, I will just fold, I'll fold about 1 inch at the top, or inch, 1.5 inches, and I'll just press this, again press it inside, again fold it inside, and then go and press it again. I don't know if you have this facility in your machine. In my machine I can put the needle right down to the edge. So basically I'm aligning the edge of my presser foot to the edge of the fabric fold, and I'll just go and sew of my pocket, and I have sewn the lip, and this is the smaller one of my pocket, and this is as per the pattern size, and this is the bigger one that I'm showing you that you can actually hold a generous 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in the side, and just press it with hot iron. The reason I'm saying generous is because when you try and do only 1/4 of an inch, sometimes the fabric kind of flips open and then the seam doesn't come right. And make sure when you start at this top, just fold it in the corner like this, and then press it again, because that will give you a very neat finish at the top. Okay, and we go ahead and do the same on this side. Just fold a generous 3/4 to 1/2 an inch, or if you've cut bigger fabric, then just go ahead and do 1 inch if you wanted to. We just do the same at the tip. Just flip this and then just turn the corner in a triangle at the edge, and then press it open. It almost becomes the triangle at the edge. It almost becomes the triangle at the edge, and then press it with iron. Okay, we repeat the same process with both the pockets. This is the top part where we have sewn the stitch. This is the top part where these are the 3 sides where we have to. So this pattern has got a notch mark here, and then you also have to make a notch mark right at the top and right at the bottom, right in the center. Okay, so even I have and at the bottom. Okay, now let me show you how to patch your pocket. We can't make notch marks for this, obviously. So fold it into, would be advisable, just take it ever so slightly lower meters from the top, 5 centimeters from the top, this side as well. The needle is already aligned because we put this top stitch. Now while doing this, I'll just make sure this tucked corner sometimes opens up and creates problems. So I just tuck it in and then align the edge of my presser foot. I will share with you in the future projects how to do this, but there is a different attachment that you need to use if you want an edge. It's a little back. Again, I check again when I come to the corner that the corner is tucked in. And I turn it. Whenever you turn a corner, just make sure you drop the needle down before you turn the corners. Then the fabric, it will hold the fabric in place. again, when I come to the if I can just show you how the corner is worked out, you can see that that is finished quite well, and the same on the other side. So anyway, you can actually achieve this finish without. Okay, there's one more thing that we need to make for the zip. I'm going to show you. So this is the beginning of the zip. The beginning of the zip, you need to tack the corners, and then we go to the end of the zip. This is going to show at the top of the back. So what I have done, I have taken a little piece of fabric, slightly wider than the zip panel. Basically, it's one piece of fabric folded on either side, and when the zip goes in like this, that just kind of nests really neatly. I have made two markings just to kind of make sure that that's where I'm going to start stitching. So basically this panel, I'll go and sew from there to there and there to there, and a little bit of cross, not straight, a little bit of cross. You can do straight as well, but I'm going to do cross and show you. Place the presser foot on the mark and sew a straight stitch, starting and finishing with the back stitch. I had to sew you can see two lines of stitches here because I didn't sew it properly. I'm just going to trim a little bit off, turn this inside out, and poke something in, like a sharp object, pencil, pen, end of your pair of scissors, whatever, and then you get this edge. What you do, take the edge of your zipper. This is the top of the zipper where you get the puller, and place this inside. Let it be just where the zipper ends, and go and sew a top stitch all around, or just a straight line here, as you wish. You can see the end of the zipper has got a nice ending, just like a professional bag. Okay, these are your zipper panels. I have folded each edge about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, and you have to fold it 1/2 inch on either side. Basically all four pieces are identical, folded on edges, and we're going to go and sew the zip. Let me take one off, and then I'm going to place the zip. The beginning of the zip is right at the beginning of this here. We don't want the zip to poke outside the fabric, so I'm aligning that. And then I take the other piece of fabric, place it on top, just make sure my zipper is just right at the edge of the fabric, and then I go and sew a 1/4 inch stitch all the way from here to here. We don't want 1/2 inch stitch because some of you may not have the right zipper foot, so it's better to have a 1/4 inch seam all the way across. If you're not confident of sewing 3 layers at a time, then go and sew this one first, and then you can keep this on the top and then sew another stitch on the top here. Okay, now we have sewn the edge stitch, which is 1/4 inch, and the zip is here. So if I turn this the other side, tuck all the corners in and just pull it. You might want to iron it on the seam here just to make it a bit more flat. And we're going to go and sew a top stitch starting from here and all the way and finishing it this way. That way your zip will be completely closed. To make it easier to sew, I'm just going to open the zipper and then sew. If I show you in a close-up, this is the end. This is the zipper that we have just sewn. Now we go ahead and repeat the same process on the other side of the zipper. The zipper panel is now sewn. I've attached the panels on either side, and let me just show you. The zipper puller is working fine. Now before we go ahead with this stage, you need to take the gusset panel, just place it on top of the zipper panel and see if there's any excess. I can see a little bit of excess here on either side because this needs to center it, And once I center it, if I see any excess, then all I do is I just go ahead and pin, and then just trim the excess off, because the zip panel and the gusset needs to be exactly the same size. After you have sewn, you might have taken a little bit extra, a little bit more, so this is actually always on the excess. Okay, now we have trimmed the zipper panel. We're going to go and attach the lining. Now take the lining, this is the bottom part, this is the bottom part of the lining, and this will face, both the pockets will face like this. So anyway, I'm going to fold the other one into half, place my zipper panel. You can see the 2 notch marks here, and your panel should actually fit in quite neatly. If it doesn't fit in, if it's a little bit excess, a little bit smaller, it's not the end of the world. Just center this panel to the center notch mark, put a couple of pins to hold it in place, and now here I just lift this up and I place the other panel. Again, I center it. So let me hold it up like this and just make sure that my side seams are matching. Yep, and just lift this up and take your time while doing this. Now we are coming towards the finishing of the bag, and it's very important that you take your time and just do it slowly. That's when you get a neatly finished product. Okay, you can either go and sew this at the minute, or you could also join the upper part. Because it can all be done in one stage, I'm just going to go and place this top part. So basically the right sides facing each other, and just go and place this. And either remove the earlier pins and pin them again, or just pin a couple of pins on the top. Now go and sew a 1/2 inch stitch, starting and finishing with the back stitch. When we are finished with this, we place this on the top on the other side, and just make sure that it matches on the side and it's centered properly, and go ahead and pin. And go and sew a stitch. So I'm going to go and do both the stitches at the same time. Now the zipper is sewn, the top part of the lining is sewn. If I open the zip and show you that it's all looking very neat, and I'm really excited to go on to the next step. We only have a few more steps to go. This is the gusset, and I've made the notch mark right in the center. I'll open one of them because the zipper is longer than we need, it's quite handy. Place the gusset matching to the notch mark, and put a pin, and then go all the way around. And if you're not confident sewing without pins, I would probably suggest you either tack this or pin it, and then go ahead and sew. Unlike denims, usually the lining fabric, depending on what you have chosen, will stretch a little bit, because I'm using a curtain one, and though this is quite a substantial fabric, it is sort of had a little bit of stretchability. So I would prefer to pin it so that I don't have any nasty surprises when I finish the project. Because the last thing you want is you've come to the end of the project, all excited, thinking you're going to finish and see a finished bag. You end up having to unpick a lot of seams, which is not nice at all. And it kind of puts you off, and you end up leaving the project halfway through. So it would be nice to get it neatly done. Anyway, so I have pinned it. Now I go ahead and sew 1/2 inch stitch all around. At this stage I have to point it out to you. You can open the seams and put a top stitch if you wanted to, but it's not really necessary. Because of the weight of the fabric, this is just falling down. It is falling downwards. I'm just going to let it sit like this, because it's all going to be covered. You're not going to see anything at all. Thought I will actually pin the other side of the gusset as well. Just make sure that you follow the center mark on both the sides, and go ahead and sew on both sides of the gusset. have sewn the gusset on both the sides. This is the key now, when you open it, that the bag should actually kind of sit like a bag. And if at this stage, if you find anything that's kind of, pulling on one side or not, then this is where you've got to stop, unpick things and restitch it again. Because this, if you get this right, then the rest is almost like a piece of cake and it just flows like a dream. Okay, anyway, you can see the inside of the bag. There's the 2 pockets and the zipper line. Okay, I have to show you something. When I do my bags, when I make my bags, I always want to have lots of room inside. I want to have a little loop. I want to have a little loop to hold my pen. I want something to hold my keys as well, because I keep losing my keys. This is a strap I rescued from a laptop bag, which was being thrown away. Now you can see all these accessories can come for free. You don't really need to go and buy these. So this is a D-ring, which I'm going to unhook and keep it aside. Now this is perfect to hold my keys. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off like that and open a little bit of seam underneath my zipper or in the side, wherever you think is necessary. I'm just, because this is the part where we just close the zipper. This is the part that's going to be used most, so that's where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to open a little bit, but push this loop in and then stitch it again. That will hold my keys. At the same time, out of my bias binding, I have done an 8 stitch and made a little loop. I'm going to cut off a little bit, and what I'll do next to it, I'm going to open a little bit more of that seam and then attach it inside. So this will hold my pen. I'll show you why, because I keep losing my pen like most of you do. And this is a retractable pen, which I bought it in a pound shop and I got 2 for £1. After I put my loop in, I can just open this up and the pen can sit there. This is retractable, so I'll never lose a pen. I'll always have a pen in my bag. Anyway, these are the little things that you don't get in a commercial bag, but when you make your own, the possibilities are endless. I have sewn my key holder and the loop into my bag.